Well, good morning, folks.
Good morning.
Good morning. So, Mimi Enright is our speaker. She's with the Master Gardeners. And Mimi Enright's career has followed an unusual trajectory. After spending 17 years at IBM in San Francisco in various capacities, she left the corporate world and moved to Sonoma County and began a gardening design practice. She became a Master Gardener in 2011 and is the program coordinator for the Sonoma County Master Gardeners. There you go. So I'll just read this since we're loading the program here. She's passionate about anything related to food, growing, foraging, preserving, and cooking, as well as the topic of sustainability and water conservation in the home landscape. So as soon as Windows 8 gets sorted out, I'll introduce Mimi Enright.
Double duty. Good morning.
Good morning.
I have to admit, I've always had to hear me. Okay. I've always been curious about what Rotary Club is about. This is my first Rotary Club meeting.
Don't hold that against us.
From what I can see, we have a lot in common between Rotary Club and the Master Gardeners. You guys are all about good food and obviously good times. I've seen a lot of good times this morning. I'm very intrigued by the fines concept. Thinking we might have to introduce that in our general membership meetings to generate some funding for the organization. But we're also both about community service, very clearly. And I wanted to say on a personal note, my father contracted polio when he was 17 in 1942. So don't mean to get emotional, he's no longer here, but thank you for all your work that you're doing in that regard. It's very, very important, and it really is obviously very impactful to many people's lives. So thank you. Okay, so now getting hopefully not emotional again. I don't know how many of you are familiar with the University of California Cooperative Extension. It's a part of University of California, of course. And what cooperative extension offices in counties around the United States are about, it goes back to 1862 with the Land Grant Act, the Morrill Act that was enacted by Congress. And it basically allowed for donation of, I believe it was 30,000 acres to individual states to set up universities. And what those land grant universities then had to do was set up cooperative extension offices in the counties and the states that they were serving. And the intent of those cooperative extension offices was to extend the research and science of that land grant university to the public at large. So University of California Cooperative Extension office in Sonoma County is just off of Airport Boulevard. And the Master Gardeners are basically trained volunteers by the University of California Cooperative Extension. And originally, the first Master Garden program actually originated in Washington State. And the intent was a farm advisor was overwhelmed. So there's farm advisors that work in each of the cooperative extension offices. And a farm advisor was overwhelmed by the need of serving the non-commercial, the home gardener, in terms of sharing information and answering questions. So they came up with this idea of creating a Master Gardener program. And the intent is to basically extend that university science and research to the home gardener, thereby offloading that workload from the farm advisors so they can work primarily just with a commercial client base. And the Sonoma County Master Gardener program, we're very proud to say we've been around since 1981. So we've been here serving Sonoma County for 33 years. So our mission is to provide unbiased, science-based information to the non-commercial home gardeners in Sonoma County. And basically, to become, and I know there was one retired Master Gardener here in the room. Is anybody else a Master Gardener? So basically, to become a Master Gardener, one of the most important requirements is a commitment to volunteer service or commitment to giving back to your community. Because it is an all volunteer-based organization. To become a Master Gardener, you must be accepted the program, and then you go through 96 hours of advanced training on gardening topics. And then there's an ongoing commitment in your first year to volunteer 50 hours of service, and in subsequent years, 25 hours of volunteer service. So I'm going to take you through the various programs we have, but I wanted to start with, yay, I think it's going to work. This is the first time I've ever embedded a video in a PowerPoint presentation. We're having technical difficulties this morning, so I'm thrilled that it's showing up, but let's see if it'll play. So this is a brief 2-minute video that we produced about a year ago that talks about the Master Gardener program. See?
Could you explain what Unbiased are doing in these?
Well, I guess maybe the best example might be, for example, if you look at the issue of genetic modification, of GMOs. As a Master Gardener, you're supposed to look at the science-based facts behind that topic, and not get wrapped up in maybe what might be more emotional and not science-based thought processes that are going all around that topic. Does that make sense?
Sort of.
Yeah. So it's supposed to be all about science-based research and information.
Climate change would be.
Yeah, typically, I don't know the UC's stance on climate change specifically, but, so what we're supposed to extend is the science-based research that the UC has developed. So, I don't know if the video seems to be playing, but I'm going to go out of slideshow.
We're back.
And just, yeah, kitty. The citrus rate. Unfortunately, I don't have a slideshow, which is too bad. But you can find it on our website. We will, I'm going to skip the video this morning. Sorry, guys. Give that up. Okay. So how we extend that research-based information is we do that in a number of ways. And one of our core functions is our information desk, which is housed in our office at just out there at Boulevard. If you look at the core of why the Master Gardener program was originally developed, it was about offloading the workload from the farm advisors. So this was one of the primary functions that every Master Gardener office has always done. So we actually have a desk at the office. You can see our desk here. I'm sure isn't that good quality. With microscopes, research library, and we answer phone calls, emails, and walk-in requests for horticultural information. So we generally run about 120 contacts per month. It's of course spikes up in the summer. It's much busier in the summer when people are trying to figure out what's wrong with their tomatoes. But it's a wonderful basic function and service of what we provide to the public. We also have an amazing website, and I would urge you all to go check it out if you have a chance. Lots of great information on the website, monthly relevant articles based on the season, historical articles, information about drip irrigation, low water use plants, lots of great information that you can find. And the website's not that, URL's not that friendly, but if you just Google Sonoma County Master Gardeners, it'll take you right there. We also have a Facebook page. I don't know how many of you are Facebook users, but like us at Sonoma County Master Gardeners, we have an amazing volunteer who manages our Facebook page. She keeps it regularly updated with seasonal information about events, workshops, lots of great information that you can find there, so I urge you to like us on Facebook. Another one of our core functions are farmers markets tables, and I hope some of you have maybe seen us, for example, at the Sebastopol Farmers Market. We're present at 12 different farmers markets around Sonoma County. Typically during the summer, a few year-round, and we answer, any gardening-based questions that folks may have. If we can't answer a question there, we send folks to our information desk where they have access to more resources on the computer as well as our resource library. And then we also hold general information tables at various events where people will bring specimens, plant ID, insect ID, and we hand out local gardening information leaflets. And rain or shine, I don't know if you can see the picture of it. We're setting up in the rain, so We're very active in a number of fairs and expos. Hopefully you've seen our demonstration garden that we do annually at the Sonoma County Fair. We were incredibly proud of this year's demonstration garden. It was all about sustainable gardening practices and water-wise gardening. And I felt like it was right outside the exhibit hall doors. And I felt like it was a great contrast of how beautiful a low water use garden can look, in contrast to what was in the exhibit hall, which was mostly high water use plants. And it's really about educating the public about low water use gardening and more sustainable garden practices in general. So it's a really great booth. And a lot of work went into it, so very proud of our efforts there. And we do booths at various fairs like the Porterville Citrus Fair, the Heirloom Exposition, and the North Bay Science Fair. We also have a relationship with 9 different Sonoma County regional libraries, where we offer an ongoing series of horticultural lectures, mostly in the spring and fall. And you'll see those advertised in the Press Democrat, and they're also listed on our website. We have a special relationship with the Sonoma County Waste Management Agency. They actually have a contract with them, a 3-year contract that's been regularly renewed, where they provide us some funding to extend specific information about composting, backyard composting, vermicomposting. We do a wonderful set of worm composting lectures at elementary schools. And teach people about alternatives to toxic pesticides in order to reduce the input of those chemicals into our waterways. We also have a number of specialist groups. These are folks who go through some additional advanced training on specific topics, and I'm going to take you through what each of those individual groups does. We have a very popular food gardening specialist group. They do, again, mostly spring and fall food gardening workshops. They also do library panels on food gardening. And we started developing some special relationships with community gardens, school gardens, and some senior housing centers, specifically around food gardening. We also have a team that are receive advanced training on integrated pest management, and do workshops on that topic as well. And I love this picture, which shows one of our display tables with some of the type of brochures and materials we have. I kind of wish it didn't have the beautiful lawns brochure right up front center. It's not something, of course, we're not telling people they have to remove their lawns, but we're certainly all about educating people about more low water use alternatives to lawns. And in fact, this is the group that is working on that. About a year ago, we developed a relationship and partnership with the Sonoma County Water Agency that we're very proud of. They are providing some funding for a resource that manages this program for us, which has been wildly popular. We call it Garden Sense. And basically, we're up to a group of 50 master gardeners who are now trained on water conservation in home landscapes. Specifically, our relationship with the water agency was about helping people who were doing lawn conversion projects, Cash for Grass programs, if you're familiar with those, to take their projects to completion. Only about 50% of the people who signed up for Cash for Grass programs would finish their lawn conversion. So our original intent was to help teach people about sheet mulching their lawns, converting their spray irrigation to drip, and helping them understand what low water use plant options they might have for planting. But we've kind of grown it. We've made it generically available to any homeowner who's interested in learning about water conservation in their own garden. A team of these Garden Sense consultants will come out to your garden and consult with you on water conservation practices so you can reduce your landscape water use. Landscape water use is one of the largest uses of home water use, so it's a very important topic for us to be helping educate people on. We did for like maybe 2 months into starting this program when Governor Brown announced the drought. And of course, interest skyrocketed in folks having these home visits. I think to date we've completed over 200 home visits, which we're really proud of. Some drop in the bucket, but we're growing our base of consultants. We started with, I think, 4 teams that were covering it, and it's been a tough get up and running because the demand has been so significant, but we're really proud that we're up to 50 trained consultants. That means we have 25 teams that can go out and meet with homeowners, and it's a great program. If any of you are interested in the Garden Sense program, you can sign up on our website. Generally, the backlog is 3 to 4 months before we can get out to you because there has been such great interest in the program. And it's a really exciting program, a really exciting partnership with the Water Agency. We did a survey of some clients recently to get an estimate of square footage of lawn removed, which we're going to translate into gallons water saved, so we can really discuss the impact we're making in the community in this program. It's a program that we're very, very proud of. We also have a team of individuals who are specially trained on sudden oak death, which I'm sure, as you're all aware, is a particular problem in Sonoma County. It's a special project with UC Berkeley, and they hold public education events and also participate in an annual blitz that identifies the scope of the spread of sod in Sonoma County. I was talking to Bruce earlier, asking if he was familiar with the Harvest for the Hungry Garden from back in the days when he was a master gardener. It was begun in the 1990s. It's located on Yulupa Avenue in Santa Rosa. Basically, all the food that's grown in the garden is donated to nonprofits and food banks here in Sonoma County. And it's also a great venue for us to hold food gardening workshops in the spring and fall. We also have a wonderful relationship with Forget-Me-Not Farm. Hope many of you are familiar with that. It's here in Santa Rosa behind the Humane Society, and a very select group of very special master gardeners work with disadvantaged children there to teach them compassion for all living things and a connection with where their food comes from. We have a newer project started in 2010, which is a group of master gardeners transformed a neglected patch of ground into a sustainable garden at the Pendleton Library. And it's now become a very active center of activities, including a bi-monthly information table and an interaction with children in the library. We have a wonderful facility at Sonoma Garden Park out in Sonoma, which is on the grounds of the Sonoma Ecology Center. And master gardeners there have a demonstration garden, and they work year-round with children aged 5 to 12. It's a wonderful setting for exposing kids to gardening. Also in Sonoma, we have a wonderful water-wise garden. Some master gardeners transformed some spaces in front of the Sonoma Community Center with a sustainable landscape with focus on water conservation. In fact, there's an event there this coming weekend, I think, the 25th. In the morning, a Sustainable Gardening Practices Fair. Wonderful garden where you can see low water use plants that you could use in your own landscape. We started a partnership, I don't know if you all are familiar with Jail Industries. It's part of the Sonoma County Jail facility. We started a partnership with them in 2013. We have some shade houses there where we can propagate plants for sale. And we can also teach about plant propagation and plant identification. And we also host educational classes for the inmates working at JI. We have a relationship with Quarry Hill, the botanical garden out close to Sonoma. And master gardeners there lead 4th and 5th grade students through the botanical garden, teaching them about gardening. And finally, I don't know if any of you have perhaps attended one of our Blooming Backyards events. We've been holding them for about 10 years. It is our primary, within the university we call it cost recovery or fundraising vehicle. It raises over 90% of the funds for our operation. We are a nonprofit. We're all completely self-funded for what we do. It's basically held every 2 years. It's a garden tour, craft, and plant sale, and a wonderful opportunity for education. In fact, this next one, we just had one just in June of this year in Sonoma, and we rotate around the geographical regions of Sonoma County. Our next one is in West County. It's Sebastopol in 2016, so look for it. It's a great event, and it's a great day. So like the Rotary Club, Master Gardeners are about having a good time. Now, we usually do potlucks, but I'm loving this idea of having a whole catering breakfast. That's pretty amazing. But as you can see, the food is pretty spectacular. And we're really about community. I'm sure you all feel the same way. I joined the Master Gardeners just 3 years ago. I completed the training, became the program coordinator about 15 months ago. And for me, what I never anticipated, it was about giving back to my community, about something that I was passionate about, gardening, which I think is the motivation for most Master Gardeners. But I never anticipated the wonderful, wonderful sense of community and group of friends that I would develop there. And we're about volunteering in our community and giving back. So that's it.
When you're talking about water conservation, you guys do two things. One is, do you work with folks at all to do laundry landscape and stuff? Or do you refer for that?
We don't do gray water. You know, we have done some, we've been talking to Daily Acts about growing our partnership with them and possibly maybe doing a video series on topics like gray water. But that's not something that we've developed an expertise in and are going out to work with the public on. And Daily Acts seems to be working in that area so well and serving the needs of Sonoma County, we haven't really pursued that.
And then when you talk about lawn conversion, I know you mentioned sheet mulching, but you also mentioned cash for grass. And isn't cash for grass when you tear out the lawn? And are you encouraging sheet mulching in place of that so that people aren't throwing good soil away?
So cash for grass programs are about replacing your lawns with a low water use alternative. There's a lot of approaches you can take to replacing your lawn. One is physical removal, which creates biomass, which has to go to landfill, which I know you're very familiar with. But we try to teach people about other alternatives like sheet mulching, so they don't take that approach, or don't spray their lawn with Roundup, or whatever the approach is. So yeah.
Is there a cost to the sheet to knock your own?
There's not. It is a free service. Yeah. Yes.
Thank you for the clarification about the cash for grass. I thought it was a fundraiser.
No, but it's a great idea.
There you go, you got two things.
And in fact, if I could say, Master Gardener was telling me just yesterday, he was going out on a garden sense consultation today, that the client had told them, just warned them, that they do have medicinal pot in the backyard, so they wouldn't be surprised when they came over. And I thought, well, that's a first for me.
So I wanted to give a shout out. I go to your website when I'm trying to figure out my garden plan for the year, because it's got it all laid out, what you can plant, when, what the periods are. And it's really, really helpful to be able to go and look at that and go, oh, hadn't even thought of that.
Nice.
Yeah, so thank you for having that.
No, thank you.
And I was just saying, I had some really weird, strange disease, something, and I brought you plant parts, and you guys figured it out. It's amazing.
Nice. Awesome.
Sudden oak death, do you have a tree that you think could be affected? Would that be something that you would come out and take a look at?
Yeah, we actually have a specific individual who is our Sudden Oak Death Program Coordinator, who's funded through the grant to UC Berkeley. Her name is Lisa Bell. And Lisa would be the individual contact. I know she does go out to specific properties and look at trees to whether they're affected.
And the second part of that, there is no cure for it, correct?
I'm not a sudden oak death expert. I know there's some treatment options that people suggest and some mitigation measures like removing possible host plants like California Bay. That Lisa would definitely be a resource for.
Thank you very much.
Sure, my pleasure.
We would like to have this bottle of polio
Oh,
done by
nice.
Toledo, and each bottle is contribution to the polio.
That's lovely. Thank you very much.
And I have one little task for you.
Uh-oh.
We do a door prize,
Oh.
and if I can get you to draw the card,
Oh, I'd love to.
somebody will be happy.
Well, it's nice to make people happy.
Yeah. The majority of us would be happy.
Oh, it's so funny.
Now, well, you draw a ticket, and then try to find those.
All right, got it.
Through the last 4 digits.
1287.
No, it's over here.
Oh, then you pick another one.
Try again.
All right. 1274.
1, 2, what?
74.
I just wanted to hear it again.
Okay, well, one of those is an ace.
Is it?
Yeah.
That one? No.
No. Thanks for playing. And
That was pretty good.
you win.
What do I win? Something?
Not my iPad.
This is a beautiful picture of, is that the moon? We have some late breaking news. Gabrielle and Martha have completed their journey. I know they're going to take a week or two of vacation time now, and then they're going to be coming home here. And I guess it's in December, they're going to tell us about their trip to camp.
It was a walking vacation.
Okay, Bruce, you have a Chuck Tilbury joke for us?
Billy Joe and Daisy May have been married for a long number of years, and they were really concerned about what happens after life. They really wanted to know, was there sex after life? So they agreed that whoever died first would come back and let the other one know. Sure enough, a few weeks later, Billy Joe passes. And a little time goes on, and suddenly Daisy May wakes up and says, Billy Joe, is that you? Yeah, that's me. She says, oh, you have to tell me, is there sex after the life? Billy says, well, let me tell you what my day is like. He says, I get up in the morning and have sex. I go have breakfast and have sex. I go out in the yard, roll around in the grass, and have more sex. Come back, have lunch, go back out and repeat it all over again. And then this goes on all day long. Finally, I have to go to bed because I'm just worn out. And Daisy May says, Billy Joe, are you in heaven? She said, no, I'm a rabbit in Texas.
Very good. Very good. Well, you can do a send-off because Summer Morris is going away. Married on Thursday. Am I forgetting? Larry wanted me to tell you about this.
Oh, on Saturday, if anybody's free, they're doing a polenta chicken feed here. It's a fundraiser for the Masons. They're trying to raise some money to paint the outside of the building, which would be kind of nice. Yeah. So it's polenta, and I'm going to be doing chicken cacciatore and chicken marsala also. A little salad. Tickets I have available, or you can get them at the door. They're $15, which is going to be a hell of a deal because I know the guys cooking the food.
Okay.
What time does it start?
Starts at 6 o'clock, I believe.
Oh, so it's,
That one's
So you can go after the basketball.
You can go after basketball. So